Hello, welcome to this short tutorial on the features of Google Classroom. Now, this first video is going to just show an overview of the Google Classroom app and explain some of the basic features it can do. After that, we'll have a look at Google Classroom from the point of view of a pupil, and I'll talk through how to do the basic features such as uploading work and viewing assignments. Finally, I'll go through some commonly asked questions that we at Labrador High School get from parents, and I will try to answer those. If any questions that you have are not included, please feel free to leave a comment on the YouTube video or get in touch with any of the teachers at Labrador High, such as myself, Mr. Llewellyn, and we will do what we can to help you and point you in the right direction. Now, to start off, I'm going to show you how to access Google Classroom. All of our pupils should have Google Classroom downloaded onto their connected Falkirk iPads. And the easiest way for you to find it, or for you to show your pupil how they can find it, is if they swipe down to open up the search bar and then simply type in Google Classroom at the top. You can see the app here. It's called Classroom. It's a white background with then a kind of green chalkboard in front of it with a few pictures of people on it. Another way to find it is just to find where you've got the app saved. So my app is in this folder here called Google, and you can see Classroom next to that horrible, scary looking 3,000 unanswered emails. If we click on Classroom then, it takes you to this page. It shows you all the classes you're involved in. Now, for your pupil, you'll be able to see all the classes that they're part of. So you'll see a wide range of teachers. So as you can see here, there's a third year Modern Studies class, a National 5 Philosophy class, a higher RNPS class, higher politics, more higher politics classes. There's London trips. So your pupils will be enrolled in not only academic classrooms, but if there's any teachers that need to share information about upcoming events, such as the year teams, your pupils will be included in those classrooms as well. So if the year team want to share a message with pupils, then that will be posted on Google Classroom and they can find it via this page. So if we click in the top left, we can see all the different options. So clicking on classes leaves us here with all the different options and all the different classes. If we go to the next one, calendar, we can open this in a different app. Now, anytime your pupil is sent any assignment, if they click on their calendar, or if you click on their calendar, you're then able to see all of those assignments. This means when they're due will appear, and this is a good way of keeping track. It also keeps track of all the classes in this left-hand panel. You can see all the classes I'm enrolled in as a teacher from the last couple of years. So some of those are not active anymore, but are kept because we need to keep some of your pupils' work just in case any of it is relevant over the next couple of years. One of the best features of Google Classroom is that none of the work your pupil ever completes is ever deleted unless you specifically delete it. So it is very, very difficult to lose work once it has been put onto this system. So if your pupil thinks it's lost, a teacher can definitely help them find it. If you scroll down, it shows enrolled classes. So that's where your pupils will have the majority of theirs in the enrolled classes. And it also shows us classroom folders, about 4 from the bottom, which I'll click on now. Classroom folders then takes us to all the different folders for all the different classes that I teach. If I'm to click on any of those, such as 1.13 BGE, if I go to Assessment 1, this then is all of the assessments from that class. So like I said, it's very difficult to lose anything once it has been put onto Google Classroom because it all automatically saves. So we can see here we've got various different volcanic eruption assessments. Once the work is on, very difficult to lose it because it is saved. And that there then is the real key feature of Google Classroom, that it manages to protect a lot of that work. Now let's go into a class and show what it looks like. So we will go into the iPad Features Classroom. Now this is a nice simple one. There's not a lot of information on it, and that means it's very easy to understand. Now, anytime a teacher wants to post information, it appears in this page here called the stream, as you can see in the bottom left hand corner. That means if I, as a teacher, want to just make an announcement, such as there will be a test in 2 weeks' time, I can post it here. So if you want to have a look at what different classes are saying, what different classes are doing, you can go into the stream and get a look. Anytime any new work is posted, it also appears here. The next tab then is classwork. If you go into classwork, you'll be able to see everything that a teacher has posted at any point. So if it's an assignment, that means there'll be something to do. So that means there'll be some sort of instructions and some sort of student work that needs to be done. If it is a material, it's usually not anything to do. You won't see individual student work, but it's more something pupils need access to. So let's go into another Google Classroom and get a better look at what I mean. So if we go into higher politics, we'll see this is a much more populated stream with a lot more information. So information that the exam is coming up and dates on the exam doctor, materials, socialism essays, quality study plans, exam support information, essay planning guides. So a wide range, essay in class, a wide range of information about what's going on in class and materials. If we go into classwork, we will see that all of the information from the course, Unit 1, revision, source questions, Unit 2, profile and Unit 3, knowledge, is all broken down in different sections which pupils have access to. So from home, any PowerPoint that's used in class, any worksheets, any materials, your pupil has access to through the classwork tab on Google Classroom. And that means it's a really great resource to get used to, especially when it comes to preparing for assessments and tests. That's the basic overview of what Google Classroom can do. So it contains ways for your pupils to access resources, it contains ways for your pupils to see different pieces of information, and it saves work. Next, what we're going to look at is what your pupil will actually see from their point of view, how they can upload work, and what they can actually, where it's saved to. So let's go into a class that I'm enrolled as a pupil. Teach Me 2022-23. Once we're in this class, we can see that there are different assignments that I'm able to access. So if I click on classwork, I can see there was an assignment due the 14th of February and one due the 25th of November. So if I click on this, there's a space here for my work. Okay, so when your pupil can see a new assignment, they click on it, and then down the bottom, they're given space for my work. They're able to add private comments. So if I had a comment that I wanted to ask a teacher, I could leave it here, and only the teacher of the classes, so any teacher who's added to the class, so it will usually be the classroom teacher and a head of department, and your pupil who has left the comment can see this. So if your pupil isn't sure about work, isn't sure about particular things, by leaving a private comment, then they're able to directly ask the teacher for feedback or directly ask the teacher for information that might be required. Now, if I want to, say, add an attachment, so if I want to upload my work, all I need to do is hit add attachment, and I get multiple different options. So if I go to upload file, I can choose any file here to upload. So I'll just choose blank. Any file to upload, and it just automatically adds it to Google Classroom. Once it is on, once it's uploaded, so you can see the blank dot pages there, then it's part of the classroom and it cannot be lost. So as soon as you've done that, it cannot be lost. So all you need to do after you've done this is just simply hit hand in, and that's the work submitted. But you might be wondering, okay, how do we actually complete the work? One of the easiest ways to do it is if we go into a different app. So if we go into Google Docs, which is this little blue piece of paper with the white background, so it's another Google app. In the bottom right, there's a plus sign, and we can start a new document. So let's call it homework 1. And we'll write this as a test. Any work your pupil completes in Google Docs automatically saves. So I don't need to hit save, I don't need to do anything else. All I need to do is go back into Google Classroom, take the old attachment away, add a new attachment from Drive. So I'll just go back, add attachment, Drive, my Drive, or instead of my Drive, recent, and there it is, homework 1. So any work that is completed in Google Docs, Google Classroom, Google Slides, Google Sheets is all automatically saved to your pupil's Google Drive, which they've got a special email address provided to from the school, and every single pupil has that. If they forget the password to it, they can access it from several teachers, including myself, Mr. Llewellyn, whenever they need it. So now you can see I've uploaded homework 1, saved to Drive, saved to Google Docs, and now if I just click hand in, then that's it. It says up the top, right, handed in, assignment handed in, and I do not need to worry about that anymore. So it will no longer be missing. It's now saying handed in. It is now complete. So anytime your pupil ever needs to complete any work, by just handing it in, and you can see the icon goes from blue, so this one here is still missing, is a blue icon, whereas the one that's handed in is a greyed out icon because I have completed that task now. And that's the process for accessing materials and handing materials in. So you simply click on the assignment, which will be in the classwork section. You bring this menu up, you add your attachment, and then you just press the hand it in button. Once your pupil has handed work in, they cannot access it until the teacher has looked at it and returned it. So it will usually come back with some sort of grade or mark on it, and that means your pupil has access to some direct feedback. So through this method, pupils can leave private comments, they can ask questions, they can hand their work in, and most importantly, their work will be saved to the cloud server of Google Drive, meaning they cannot lose it, and meaning the teacher cannot lose it, which is a massive safety net to have. The third and final section of this video will focus on some frequently asked questions in Google Classroom. So the third and final section, we're going to look at these 8 questions, okay? These are commonly asked questions by parents and guardians on the use of Google Classroom. I'll just start by saying that some of you might be quite familiar with Microsoft Teams and online working. Google Classroom is very similar to this. It is essentially a school version, an education version of that resource. So if you've used that for work, then with a quick look at Google Classroom, you'll become very, very familiar because it is a much simpler app, it's much more user-friendly, and it's just much generally easier to use. So we'll start by answering that first question: what is Google Classroom? It essentially is a virtual classroom environment. So pupils can upload work, teachers can mark work, and teachers and pupils can share information through the stream and through private comments. So it's a digital version of a physical classroom. It's brilliant for sharing resources, it's brilliant for cutting down paper and cutting down a lot of the waste that we see in kind of traditional school environments, and it's brilliant as well for sharing things like revision materials in the lead up to exams, SQA past papers, resources that in the past people would have paid a lot of money to get access to, which is now really, really accessible thanks to this app and thanks to the devices that your pupils have access to. Second question: where can I download or use Google Classroom? It can be used on any digital device. You can use it on a computer, you can use it on your phone, but the main one will be the iPads. All of your pupils should have this app downloaded on their iPads. Teachers will have guided your pupils to do this, and it should mean they'll all have access to it. So you can download it on any other resource, and your pupils have got their email address and password. They can sign into this on a family computer, on a home computer. They can sign into this on a phone anytime. But I would just be very, very careful when it comes to privacy, that your home internet is protected, because you do not want your child or your pupil's information being shared on the internet. Question 3, is it free? Yes, the only kind of caveat is that you need internet to access it, but the school is completely covered by Wi-Fi, it's completely covered by internet, and the iPad's connected to this. So in school, Google Classroom is completely and utterly free for your pupil to use and access. Is my pupil's work private? Yes. The only 2 people who can see work that's created is the person creating it, the pupil, and the person marking it, the teacher. So the only other person that can see a pupil's work, apart from themselves, is whichever teacher they have submitted it to. So no other pupils can see their work. It is completely private. How do I join a Google Classroom? Usually at the start of the year, teachers will share their classroom code with your pupils. So pupils will join it in class, and teachers will talk pupils through the process of how to do this. So this isn't something that you need to worry about doing at home at all, but basically each individual teacher, when they create a classroom, gets a unique code. Your pupil types that code into their app and then they're enrolled in the class. Number 6, is late work accepted? Yes, so it'll say on Google Classroom, submitted late, but late work is accepted. So if you agree with the teacher that for personal circumstances, personal reasons, work has to be handed in late, then it is something that is very manageable and very easy to sort out on the app. Question 7, do accessibility features work? Yes, all of the iPad's built-in accessibility features like the reader view, which can read text out, text to speech, coloured overlays, all of these features work with Google Classroom, which is very helpful, very handy for people who need that or who prefer to have their iPad set up in that manner. And finally, number 8, can I view my pupil's Google Classroom? Yes. As I mentioned before, your pupil can sign in with their email address to any kind of home device, but the safest and most secure way for you to look at your pupil's Google Classroom is to simply have a look at their iPad. So the brilliant thing about these devices is that they're portable. Pupils bring them home, bring them into school. So if you ever think, I'm interested, feel free to take the iPad. Once you open the app, then you can click on the Classes tab up here in the top left. And then if there's any particular class, say you're worried about maths, you're worried about English, feel free to click on that and have a look. And it'll give you a very good insight into what your pupil's doing at school, the kind of topics they're covering, and the kind of assignments and homework they're being given. And if you're thinking, I would like to help them with this, then most teachers will be providing resources and homework at home through PowerPoints, through worksheets, and this might help you to get a look and understand the kind of work that your pupil is completing. As I mentioned earlier, if there are any questions, if there's anything you'd like to know, then please get in touch either via the comments section, via email. Contact Mr. Cassells, who is our lead of family learning, and I'm sure he will pass the question on to me if he cannot answer it himself. And that way, anything that is needing answered, anything you would like answered, we can get to you as quickly as possible and help you feel as confident as possible with this technology as us, the staff, and the pupils already do. Thank you for your time.